If a picture is worth 1,000 words, an experience is worth 1,000 pictures. In today's episode of Hope in Motion, we meet Deborah Wong, Asian Aid USA Sponsorship Manager, as she travels to Asian Aid supported schools in India.
Coming here to India, seeing the need, seeing what Asian Aid is doing as part of the solution, and seeing the results has helped me to really see that I have a part to play, that there's something that I can do.
We travel with Deborah to the Seventh-day Adventist School at Vizianagaram as she witnesses the inauguration of a brand new boys' dormitory and see how this new facility is adding value to this very needy school.
By seeing this building and this prosperity, we really excited. We are really happy to see such a useful building for the boys.
And we meet Felix Olive experiencing the joy of sponsorship firsthand as he meets his sponsored child, Manohar.
I think we can give hope to the hopeless. And seeing now Manohar nicely dressed and with a meal, 3 meals every day, it's indescribable.
Asian Aid is an organization giving hope, an organization fostering permanent positive change in the lives of disadvantaged children and their communities, an organization that is committed to making a difference in the lives of children and those who are in need, serving communities in Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and India. For the last 40 years, Asian Aid has invested in the futures of people, and their investment has proven infinite returns. Driven by their dedication to helping those who have the least, Asian Aid is an organization focused on the welfare of children, implementing diverse development projects and sponsoring thousands of children. Their outreach spans from child rescue operations to providing an education for orphans, deaf, and the blind children, giving them a sense of place, a home. But above all, Asian Aid is an organization giving hope to children, giving hope to communities, giving hope to the ones who need it the most. This is Hope in Motion. As the sponsorship manager for Asian Aid USA, Deborah Wong works as a liaison between the child, the sponsor, and the Asian Aid supported schools in South Asia. Recently, when Jim Rennie, CEO of Asian Aid USA, offered her the chance to travel with him to India, she had mixed feelings, clueless as to what she would expect and encounter from her first trip to India.
It's very important that our key staff come to the field because it gives them a much deeper understanding. It allows them to see how the system works, it allows them to interact with the field staff, but most important, it builds their confidence in what they're doing. So when they're talking to donors, when they're talking to sponsors, they can say, I've been to the school where your child was. And it's just a key part of them understanding what Asian Aid does, because every day we're talking to sponsors and donors.
It is important for any charitable organization that their staff visit the mission field because they can relate their experiences to the donors, and this in turn engenders more confidence for the donors and the sponsors in the organization and the projects they are supporting. Soon after arriving in India, Deborah began her whirlwind trip with a visit to the Seventh-day Adventist School in Vizianagaram in the southern state of Andhra Pradesh. The school at Vizianagaram has taken a pounding from a severe storm recently. and the storm had battered the already dilapidated school complex.
Yeah, so when I walked into the Vizianagaram campus, of course I'd seen pictures. So I'd seen kind of what the classrooms look like, kind of what state it was in, its different needs. But somehow, of course, a picture is worth 1,000 words, but I feel like an experience is worth 1,000 pictures. And it was really like that for me to see the classrooms, to see the condition they were in, and that the children were still using them, and that they were very happy and thankful. And I just feel that there's a lot more to do there, and I'm so glad that we can be a part of doing that, and especially with the new dorm that we've made, that's just a good step towards more improvements that school can have.
When you walk into the school campus, the enormity of the need at the school comes into full view. Because of financial difficulties, the school fell into disrepair, and because of the lack of facilities, such as a decent dormitory, the boys were housed in the church building inside the campus.
Since we don't have place for the boys to stay, we put them in the church. As we Christians, we know church is a holy place for all of us. But this is only meant for praying. But in the beginning when we came, we really hesitated to keep the boys in the church because that is a holy place. But there is no other way to keep the boys. Then we all thought, even we prayed, God please forgive us by doing this.
We're coming into the chapel, which is also the boys' dorm, which is also a classroom. So these fellows, hi, do you sleep in this house? Do you sleep in God's house?
Yes, Mom.
I think you do. Show me where you sleep. Come, show me.
Sue Smith is a longtime supporter of projects in India, and she, along with her church members at Bonita Valley SDA Church in San Diego, California, has been involved in sponsoring and taking care of basic needs at the school ever since she first visited the school.
Well, I noticed what poor condition the school was in. I had been seeing large schools built that were beautiful, lovely facilities, and it was quite jarring to see this small school where children were sleeping on classroom floors. I said, well, let's buy beds. We can buy beds. They said, but there's no room for beds. They sleep in the classroom.
The boys were not only sleeping on classroom floors and living in the church, but because of the lack of proper classrooms, the school administration was forced to conduct classes in the church. Moved by the plight of the children and the staff at the school, Sue and her church members at Bonita Valley, along with Asian Aid USA, realized the urgent need to build a new boys' dormitory, and their support culminated in the inauguration of a brand new boys' dorm on November 6, 2014.
By seeing this building and this prosperity, we really excited. By God's grace, through the help of our members or donors, we are really happy to see such a useful building for the boys.
So inaugurating the new boys' dorm, of course, was very exciting for us, for Asian Aid. A very important step for the donors and those who have given towards that project. But even more so for those boys who have been living in the church in very rough conditions. Now they have this beautiful home. They are so excited, and especially with the storm that they recently had that did some damage to that school. They were living in different parts of campus, trying to find a dry place, and now they have this beautiful dorm, and I know they are very appreciative to those who have given to this project.
Although undertaking projects like this is a small step for Asian Aid and its supporters, it makes a huge difference for the children and their parents who often come from unimaginable living conditions in their villages.
And when we see Vizianagaram School or a school like Vizianagaram School, we think, oh my goodness. But the kids don't complain, because when you go back to their homes and see where they come from, they are very happy to be at school. Their parents are very happy for them to be at school. And so we want to do more there, and we will do more. And we want to plan classrooms, we want to plan to build that school, and but the kids are grateful.
These children are grateful for what they have, and it is this humility in the midst of hardship that brings back people like Sue Smith to this campus.
It's in my mind, if people could really see it here themselves, why wouldn't everybody want to go? This is such a fabulous place. It's a hard place in a way, but it's so fulfilling. It's enriching in ways that I can hardly have words for. I come back with better priorities when I come back to the States.
Everyone sleeps here. All the girls sleep here.
Over the last couple of years, people like Sue Smith and many more like her have realized the needs of this school. They want a place that is safe and supportive, and want a place where children could be given opportunities. As a key personnel at Asian Aid, Deborah Wong has seen many such needs and many opportunities given to these children. She had seen donations come in and received pictures of the buildings as it rose from the ground up. But now to stand at the gate of this beautiful new building as the ribbon was cut, see the excited faces of the children and the staff alike, and the part Asian Aid was playing to see the fulfillment of a dream in motion was not something she had experienced before. It was a great sense of fulfillment to see firsthand the result of an accomplished, truly worthwhile mission.
So at the inauguration of the Vizianagaram New Boys Dorm, there was this plaque, and when I was reading it, it said it was dedicated as an ark for God's children. When you think of an ark, you think of something that in the storms of life, in the difficulties, it's a place that is safe. It is a place where they're supported, they can find a safe place, and I feel like that is what this school is for them, and is for many of our other Asian Aid children. This is what we want it to be, is an ark where they can feel safe and supported, where they can be given opportunities, they can feel like they can build a future for themselves, and they can be carried safely to whatever destination is that God has for them.
Dirty. Should not make that water dirty.
Fourth grade student Tagore comes from a small village not far from the school. Tagore joined the school 3 years ago, and Asian Aid sponsorship has given him an opportunity to build his own future. At a very early age, Tagore's father abandoned him and his mother Gauri. As marital issues developed at home, his father, an alcoholic, physically abused his mother, and on one occasion pushed her against a wall and she damaged her back. This rendered her incapable of doing any work. Having moved in with another woman, he went into a state of unhappiness and despondency, and he killed himself by hanging.
Her health is not well, and moreover, and she cannot take care of him also because he is dependent upon the brother.
What's the brother doing?
Me and ఏం చేస్తారు? She went for the agricultural work, daily wages.
After Gauri was rendered physically challenged to do any work, she struggled to provide for herself and her son. Although her brother was there to support her, she was unable to send him to school.
I'm working in this village for the last 10 years. And 6 years back, I met Gauri. And when I met her, she told me her family problems. She told me about her struggles and how her husband passed away. I thought I must do something for them, and I took her son to the SDS school at Vizianagaram.
Afterwards, by the pastor's information and all, we found this boy. The pastor came and told so and so such cases there. One boy is there, Amma. Can we bring her to our school like that? So immediately we brought that boy. We put him in grade 1. He studied nicely. Then we gave him double promotion. Instead of going to the 2nd standard, he went to 3rd standard. Now he is in grade 4th.
Giving a child a double promotion is rare in the Indian school system. It is only given to those children who show exceptional ability to learn. One can only imagine a bright young boy like Tagore wasting his talents and growing up in a village without an education.
Tagu, what do you want to become when you grow up?
నువ్వు చదువుకున్న తర్వాత ఏమనుకుంటున్నావురా? డాక్టర్. He wants to become a doctor.
Tagore is a fine example of what a simple gesture of sponsorship can do. Today, Asian Aid's sponsorship program is not only giving a new lease of life and opportunity to children like Tagore, but it is giving the parents and community an opportunity to know Jesus.
What I'm thinking here, maybe this is a God's plan. We do not know the sponsor. The sponsor do not know this boy. This boy do not know the sponsor. She doesn't know the church exactly, but what church can do for her. But this is a God's plan to come here, and through the pastor, and this lady came to know the truth, and through the truth, and God helped her son to come to our Adventist school in the church. This all looks like a God's agency is from the beginning to the end.
Coming here to India, I really realized the impact that sponsorship makes. You know, I deal with it every day in the office, but somehow coming here and seeing boys like Tagore who live in a village where they may not have a parent, where maybe his mother is unable to work, but he's able to go to a school, and if he didn't have that sponsorship and that opportunity, who knows, maybe in a couple of years he would have to go to work, be sent to work to support the family. He may not appreciate or understand that now, but in a few years, maybe when he grows older, he'll look back and realize the opportunities that his sponsor has given him.
Meeting boys like Tagore, learning about their background, and seeing the impact Asian Aid was having on these children's lives was a rewarding experience for Deborah. Deborah's trip to India wouldn't be complete without a visit to the Sunrise Children's Home. Sunrise Home has been a major project for Asian Aid USA in the last couple of years, and this was a place she was looking forward to visiting since the start of her trip.
So visiting the children at Sunrise Home was a very special experience. Just looking into their faces, you can see that these children are just very happy. They're free to run around, they go and they play in the river, we played some games together. Levita went and showed us some of their documents from when they first came and the pictures of when they first arrived. And to see that versus what they are now, such a huge contrast in how these children have changed, how they've grown, how they've prospered in this environment. And it was such a blessing to see.
The new boys' dorm at Sunrise Home was recently inaugurated, and the boys were eager to show their new home to Deborah and Felix. Felix Olive is a New York resident and has been sponsoring a child here in India since 2013. When he was told about this trip Asian Aid was making, Felix was eager to join.
Well, I met Felix at our regional ASI in New York, and he was really excited about the ministry. In fact, he had sat down and watched most of our videos. He just about knew more about the videos than I did. And he asked me if he could come. So we're very excited that Felix could come on this trip. He's a sponsor, and he just loves children. And so not only is he meeting the children at all the schools, he's going to visit his child in Ibrahimpatnam.
When I saw the work that Asian Aid was doing, and I saw it through the videos that I found in the site, in the Asian Aid site, and as I saw the work, I was deeply touched. And I say to my friends, if you want to watch these videos, you need a box of Kleenex next to you, because it will break your heart to see the stories of all these different children and their needs. So I couldn't wait anymore. I said, I want to sponsor one of these children.
Moved by the stories he watched from Asian Aid's Hope in Motion series, Felix has been sponsoring Manohar since 2013, and he was anxious to meet him at the Seventh-day Adventist School in Ibrahimpatnam.
I know that a lot of sponsors would love to visit their sponsored children. They keep their photographs each year, they pray for them, but it's not possible for many of them to travel all the way here to India. So it's been really exciting to travel with Felix as we've been here, to see his mounting excitement, to see his sponsored child, and to be at Ibrahimpatnam as he met him. And this is really what sponsorship is all about. The joy of seeing this person whom you have been able to help. And a lot of these sponsors become our ambassadors, our Asian Aid ambassadors. They go out and tell their friends and their family what this true joy of sponsorship is.
Felix was able to experience that true joy of sponsorship when he finally met his sponsored child, Manohar.
Yeah, during the entire trip, I have to say, I was expecting the culmination when I will meet my sponsored child. I had seen his pictures, and I started to sponsor him when he was in the 3rd grade. And I'm very pleased to, when I met him, yes, it was an emotional experience to see this boy and to see his background that was described by Robbie before.
Manohar comes from a nearby district about 3 hours from Ibrahimpatnam. Having succumbed to a stroke, his father died when he was very young, and his mother struggled to bring him up and his 2 older brothers. Being pressured to remarry by her relatives and village elders, she worried for her 3 boys. Wanting a better future for her children, she brought them to the school and waited for 2 days at the school gate for someone to lend her a helping hand. Ravi, field officer for Asian Aid, saw this woman with her 3 boys and approached her.
So when we heard the lady's story, Mummy Higa and I immediately decided that we need to put that these children need sponsors immediately. Then we put them, we accepted them immediately to Asian Aid, we put them in the school, and they were there in Asian Aid. So that's his brother, Nagaraju. So his eyes is clear.
Manohar and his brother Nagaraju were taken into Asian Aid's sponsorship program the very same day and admitted at the school. His elder brother goes to a government school in his village and also takes care of his mother.
Yes, after I heard the story, of course, I learned more about him and I learned to love him more. But the thoughts that came through my mind, John, was one child is not enough. There is so many children in need. I was happy when they asked, how many children are here sponsored by Asian Aid? And a few raised their hands. In some schools there were a lot, in some schools there were less. But I was very happy to talk to them and also ask them, have you seen your sponsor? No, I haven't known my sponsor. Even Robbie, who came from an orphanage and now is working as a field worker, he himself said, I never met my sponsor. So, but the point that I wanted to make is that my feelings was, this is a time when I want to be a millionaire, because there are too many needs and too little hands to do, you know.
Not everyone is blessed with the financial means to support and sponsor many children at a time, but as Felix found out, we can, with our limited means, impact one life at a time. And the children are always grateful for the impact these sponsors have in their lives.
The most important people, the donors and the sponsors and the beneficiaries are mainly children, families and communities. But Asian Aid is just the conduit from the giver to the receiver. Thank you for being the givers. I can tell you our receivers always tell me they're grateful for the givers.
I think we can give hope to the hopeless. And seeing now Manohar, nicely dressed, and with a meal, 3 meals every day, it's indescribable.
As Deborah witnessed this relationship grow between Felix and his sponsored child Manohar, It gave her a new perspective to her role as a sponsorship manager. It was no longer just a job. It was a personal and experiential love for God's work and for the children.
Coming here to India, seeing the need, seeing what Asian Aid is doing as part of the solution, and seeing the results has helped me to really see that I have a part to play, that there's something that I can do. You know, the needs may seem so great, yet when you go to a school and you see a child, a specific little girl, and you realize, you know, these are individuals, and there is something that I can do for this one.
Today, Asian Aid is giving children in needy situations an opportunity to receive an education, and sponsors like Felix and Sue Smith and many more like them are giving these children the financial means and emotional support to follow their dreams. Through Asian Aid's sponsorship program, they are not only giving the hope for a better life, but giving them a chance to know Jesus and prepare them for eternal life.
It's not just about, our schools are not just about reading and writing and getting good at science. Otherwise, they'll go to any school. It doesn't make any difference. Again, the analogy to the ark. We want these children safe, but we want them saved. We want them for eternity, not just 30, 40, 50 years in this world. We want them for eternity.